Good morning to you folks. Welcome back on board Annabelle. We're on the move this morning. A few weeks back we had to pump out our loo for the first time in this marina since we moved, and yes, we are doing that again today, and I'm going to try film a little bit more. Hopefully it won't be so scary. Conditions are calm. I don't see any wind. Obviously it's freezing, but yeah, the weather's good, so we are taking our shot and we are emptying our loo. Pump outs are controversial loos to have on narrowboats, but we are quite grateful for it because it's forcing us to move the boat all the time and get more confident with it. How confident we are remains to be seen, but stay tuned and let's see if we make it to the pump out station in one piece. Swan's just trying to attack me. Hello. Are you gonna let me work, yeah? I'm actually like a little bit scared of these things, to be honest. Okay, we made it safely out. Luckily this time the water is super calm, so yeah, there's no wind to push us around, and we have a bow thruster, so that definitely helps to make sure that we don't knock into the boats on the other side, which is obviously the main thing that we are worried about. We don't want to disturb anybody, and we don't want to be those people in the marina. So yeah, we're on the go now, and I think it is going to be smooth sailing. It's quite fun to be moving on your home, albeit just to empty the loo. Captain doing good. I don't know if the camera's focusing on him, but I'm proud of him. Love this guy. I'm also always super intrigued by this cabin and obviously this beautiful boat outside. Love to have like a little home on the water and a boat. Like, how ideal. Yeah, we're not cruising anywhere today, but it still feels pretty cool that we're on the move, so grateful to a full loo. And yeah, I think we might just become fair weather boaters because this is a million times calmer than moving in wind and rain. Definitely going to keep those instances for emergencies only. Coming up under the bridge. I love walking this bridge for the last 2 nights because we were worried that our loo was too full. I've actually been going to the loos at the marina, and yeah, it's quite magical walking around here and just like realizing that, yep, we do in fact live on water, and it's pretty cool. And like even more cool is just living in the marina, seeing all the lights, seeing all the Christmas lights. There's something very magical about it. I'm sure other people that live in marinas will agree. Doesn't look like much now, but this boat here just in front is quite a wonderland, full of lights when he's got them all switched on at night. Paul just giving me a fright with the old horn. And that just over there is where we are headed. So camera down. I gotta tackle this rope and get to work. And we made it. I'm on my way out to help Paul, and then we will get things on the go. How do we do this time?
Alright.
What have we lost?
I think gloves left.
Pump out, check. We're just gonna top up with fuel and then head back. Very large outing today. Yeah, gauge is on empty.
Pardon?
I said the gauge is on empty.
Oh, that's perfect. All the poo gone. It's only 9 baht.
Oh.
There we go.
So we're all full up with diesel. Didn't have much to top up, so yeah. Now that we're out here, kind of makes me want to just go for a bit of a ride. But I will fill you in later with what the inside of this boat looks like. I think I left off the last video saying something about feng shui. Well, that is definitely not the case. It has been an excruciating couple of days living on board with all our boxes, and we're doing, I don't know, second, third, quadruple rounds of deciding what we can donate, because yeah, although it could all fit, you don't want to live with that much stuff. Like now that we're on here, we want to move about easily, and the stuff that we really use on a daily basis we want to be able to access. So it's really like just this whole process of organizing everything, but we will get there. And yes, fill you in when we are back in our mooring spot. Alright, there's an obstacle course in here to get through. Did I tie that not badly? You're gonna have to give me lessons.
Yeah, it's alright.
Sorry.
I don't even know if what I'm doing is correct. Guy's favourite motto was, if you can't tie knots, tie lots. Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Thank you.
I'll sort it out.
Cheers.
Thanks.
No, it's alright, thank you so much.
Wait. You gotta love a little swan footage. Beautiful creatures, but slightly cheeky, I'd say. Definitely scared of their hiss. Making the turn to go back underneath the bridge, and then we've, same as last time, installed the help of our lovely neighbour to grab our rope and help us reverse back into our berth. So that's the bow thruster. Helping us turn, and thank goodness for that. Yes, see you when we are home. I'm just busy heating up some soup that I made last night. We are going to have a bite to eat. Seems that that little trip out took most of the day. But yeah, it's good. So Paul got to do engine checks, make sure everything's running properly, and I've lost him, well, I had lost him to chats with the neighbour, and now I've lost him to fiddling about in the engine bay. But yes, while I prepare lunch, let me fill you in on where we're at. So we've been on board a few days now. Yesterday we didn't do much. I was editing a video, and Paul took a walk in the surrounding areas, and we just chilled, even though the boat is still very much so a mess. It is a little bit of a dilemma trying to figure out firstly where all the things should go that are going to be convenient, and I know it's going to take time, and we can always move it and settle in differently at a different stage, and there is no rush because we're full-time on board now. But you know that feeling when something's new and you just want to relax, and because it's a boat, it's like one continuous room, you can't really relax because you can see all the mess right in front of you. So it's just that kind of thing, and wanting to get it organized, and lots of things you don't plan for. Like I'm staring right now at the kitchen shelf, like all the groceries, these over here are just like here, and there's no cupboard space for them, and obviously I don't need this much Oatly. By the by, love Oatly, like the most delicious sort of plant-based milk. But yes, it's all sort of like piled up. Yeah, I guess I didn't like plan for it. I didn't think that it was going to be so hectic. So silly little things that are not at all a crisis. But yeah, we are gearing up for Christmas. Gearing up, I guess, gearing down. It's going to be very chilled and quiet. Just Paul and myself on the boat. If you're in the UK, you know that we're pretty much all on lockdown. It's like going to be a very, very isolated Christmas, and that's fine by us because it's quite exciting to spend it on the boat, and we'll make the most out of that. We had thought we'd go to Paul's brother, which is also another little hiccup for us. We've got like, so these are boxes that are old drones of Paul's that he actually 3D printed and made, which we have no use for now. But it's the kind of thing that you don't want to just chuck. So Paul's brother's going to store it for us, and we have suitcases that we use to move on board. Those need to be stored because there's no room on a boat for big bags. But yeah, as soon as we're not going there for Christmas, they'll be living with us in the saloon for a little bit longer. Yes, let me not whine on about all the cleaning and actually do some. So gonna have a bite to eat and then get stuck in, get this place ship shape, and we'll check in with you after that.
What's up?
What's you up to?
Oh, just pottering.
What were you doing in the engine?
There was a valve that was leaking. I just knocked it up.
Okay. Nothing serious?
Hope not. Yeah, so that was done. It's nice and toasty in there. The heater makes it nice.
I've been topping up the fire with coal for you.
Oh, good.
Ready for lunch?
Yeah. It's just, is there anything that we want to chuck on the back here?
Loads. I've just been telling everyone how hectic it is inside. So yes, lots of work to be done, lots of things to be shifted.
Right.
But let's eat.
Boop, boop.
Carrying on with the cleaning and organising of this boat, which seems to be ongoing. Yes. I feel like I've lost a lot of steam in terms of organising and packing away, but I'm still super excited to get it done. Packing away all these DVDs and seriously considering my obsession with old movies. Paul can show you some of... Maybe don't focus on the back behind me, but it's pretty messy in here. I mean, it's looked worse, but there's definitely like a bunch to do. But we are getting there. What say you, pyjama boy?
I'm watching you pack and reading numbers in the newspaper.
Paul's very involved in the organising.
Towpath walk. High level support for Sankey Canal.
Sankey?
Sankey.
What?
Sankey.
Sankey? What a name.
Thank you very much.
So I definitely think the key is going to be just waiting it out and giving it some time and figuring out what our lifestyle turns into on the boat, because obviously we do not know how it is to live on a boat, what we're going to be doing and what will fill our time. We imagine that a large portion of it will be taken up with boat jobs and fixing and maintenance and that kind of thing, and cruising, hopefully. So it may end up that in 6 months to a year's time we go, what the hell were we hanging on to that for, because we definitely don't have time to do that, or we don't like this anymore, we don't like that anymore. But for now I think we're still so tied to the comforts of home and what you can hold in a house and things that we like to do then, that it's sort of hard to let go of. And it's silly little things like these DVDs, like all the books. I mean, books are great to have, but you do also question like how many times do you page through them and that sort of thing, and will you read it twice? I don't know. So yeah, it seems like a kind of a silly dilemma, but it's also that thing of it's new and you just had this dream of what the boat would look like. So now that we're on, it's like there's no timeline, but even though there's no timeline, it's like get it to look beautiful and neat and tidy and all packed away as quick as possible. But that seems easier said than done. Good morning. We just got back from an early morning Christmas shop trying to beat the crowds, which didn't really work, but nevertheless we are stocked up with food for Christmas. As I said, we didn't expect to be having to cook and entertain ourselves. We're going to go to Paul's brother, but yeah, now we're on our own and we're gonna have a nice time on the boat. And look what Paul has just done. We have a twinkling Christmas tree. It's not the most original, but we made it work. Excited?
What did you get me for Christmas?
I thought we weren't getting gifts for each other.
I bought you a new car.
Paul's crazy. There's no way that would ever happen when in the same year we bought a new boat. Just about to make some eggs for breakfast and then obviously get stuck into the usual rounds of organising this crazy place. And I'm thinking now in the Christmas spirit that for the next episode, I'm not ending this episode here, but for the next episode we might just make a whole video out of our Christmas day. I think obviously it's going to be quite lonely, just Paul and I, but it'll be quite a good time talking to you guys. So I think that's what we shall do. In a wonderful turn of events, Paul was just going to sort out the fire and we noticed a droplet of water coming out from the roof. So we've shoved like a cloth up there. We have like a little light fitting in there, and yeah, there was some water coming through, so we're sure there are leaks. It's like 97% chance of rain all day long. Tomorrow it's clear and dry, so we can further check, but Paul was just saying he's thinking of getting a little camera that he's seen on eBay, essentially just to
Amazon.
Sorry?
Amazon,
not eBay. But you did say eBay just now when you were telling me. So yes, gonna get a camera, and then because at the moment like he put his cell phone up there and then you can kind of see he thinks it's coming from the aerial. So yes, if we get the camera then we can pop it into the roof and also pop it down below. Paul has been saying he's interested to see down below there, and we've heard stories of people holding water on their boats and you just don't know because without lifting the floorboards you can't really see. So here he is in his comfy spot in our cozy little boat while it's raining outside, and gonna order up on Amazon. You can understand that it's quite a moody deal when you see leaks on your boat, so just keeping it real. Never a dull moment, but not necessarily calm and happy ones all the time either. I don't know if you can tell from the window, but it is absolutely howling and continuously raining today. And yeah, we are right up close. The boat next door to us obviously like slackened their ropes because the river that's near here obviously floods during this time of year, and so they don't live on their boat, and so they're super close to us. Paul just went out now to check her. Oh, let me just get the kettle. But yes, Paul and I are just sitting here thinking how strange it is like to be on the boat now, and we're not really doing much today, just the same old organising, but things are just going wrong. We've got the leak in the roof. Next thing you know, you feel yourself bashing against the boat next door, so you run outside to check the ropes. Yeah, getting used to boat life.
How's your boat life?
Yes, I think people tell you about these things, that boats are an ongoing commitment. And yes, in the first few days we are experiencing that. New leaks, and yeah, just the strangeness, I guess, of being on here full time. It is an experience. For me, like, anything happens with the weather, I'm like, oh, what's happening? Are we going to tip over? What's going to happen? Is the ship going to go down? Obviously that's ridiculous,
My
but
boss has asked me 5 times, we're going to tip over? We're going to tip over?
I do, I worry about it.
Why are we leaning so much?
If the boat like leads to one side, or if, and obviously we're moving stuff around, sometimes it is like heavy on one side, and once we've got everything situated, we have got, what are those weights called?
We're going to just check if all the ballast is in the right place.
Check the ballast to see if they're in the right place. But yes, I do get a bit frightened, and I think to myself, what's happening? Why is this like this? And I think before it wasn't so hectic because we weren't on here full time, and it felt sort of like we were on holiday, like a weekend away. But now, like, all our most valuable possessions in our whole entire life is on here. So yes, it makes me slightly nervous.
Even your new sewing machine.
Even my new sewing machine, which I've yet to use to stitch up the carpets, but that's a story for another day. In a new and wonderful development, we have found some more leaks. So things going wrong today is now seriously things going wrong today. If you've watched our videos from sort of the beginning, it was one of the first ones we did. We were getting the boat ready to move it from Reading up to the marina where we are at now, and our friend Guy that was coming with the with us on the cruise found a leak in the window opposite the dinette. You can see Paul down there is just checking it out now. Taking the curtains down, so when we painted we were worried if we could salvage the wood. We managed to salvage the wood, we sanded it down, and before we had left for that trip to move here to the marina, Paul and Guy resealed the windows on the outside, but I don't know what's gone wrong, and Paul's obviously going to figure it out. But it is super frustrating, and even more so in very heavy rain. The weather tonight is less than ideal, and it just feels gloomy, and I think it's our first time with like hectic rain like this on the boat, so it's, yeah, it's a lot. And yeah, taken down the borders, cracked up the paint job a bit, so as you can imagine, not great, and potentially time to maybe drink some wine right about now. up to that is obviously not ideal. Paul tried to actually just take the whole panel of wood out and see exactly where the leak is coming from. Yeah, but last night it was kind of like gloomy weather, pouring with rain the whole time. The boat was moving about, and it just wasn't making for a very nice setting to get busy and really try and figure things out. So we've gone to bed, and yeah, walking through here this morning is not ideal, knowing that our lovely paint job and all of that's got to come undone. But I guess it's just a reminder, like yesterday, worrying about so many silly insignificant things, and yeah, you just got to be ready for jobs like this that are going to pop up. We obviously know that when we bought the boat, the whole outside paint job needs to be done, and when they do that, all the windows will be removed and they'll be resealed. So the temporary fix that we did a couple of months back was what we had hoped would just hold and tide us over, but it looks like we're going to have to make another plan. So I'm pretty sure that when that comes to be, Paul is going to fill you in with exactly what that is and tell you more about it. An update on the window situation. It is later in the afternoon now, and Paul has been busy all day trying to dislodge pieces of wood from around the window. The piece at the top, which you can see here on the floor there, you can see was all rotted, and so there was nothing to secure the top of the window to the boat, and that is where the leak was coming through. Paul's just busy painting now. You can't really see on camera, but inside there's a little bit of rust and stuff, and so he's just popping some Vertan rust converter onto that, and that'll just hopefully, you can't really ignore things like that when you see them, so he's just doing the job properly.
Well, just trying to get it till after Christmas, because tomorrow is Christmas Day. So I just want to do like a patch repair at a later stage when it's a bit drier. Yeah, I want to take the whole window out, but I don't have the correct mastic sealant stuff, so I'm not going to take the window out. So what I'm doing is just touching up the rust for now where the water has gone. I'll leave that to dry, and then I got this oak piece of wood to replace the rotted out one. Yeah, and the screws that came through to hold the window weren't holding anything, so the water was just coming through. So now hopefully once I've finished I can screw the screws into something and it can hold the window a little bit better closed.
Bloody good. You've done well.
Yeah, that's it.
Just a little bit scary. Look at this whole like...
Yeah, I don't want to change this bottom one. And the reason I have it like this is because you have to remove the ceiling to take this strip off, because this strip is like a U and the ceiling slots into it. And then this has screws in it above the U. Oh, it's a stupid design, but anyway. So to take you can't take this off because the top screws for this are above this. And to take the roof off, you have to take this piece off. So then we have to, and then none of these lengths, they don't all line up. So like this, I had to put a screwdriver to get in behind because this overlaps this piece, and it's a nightmare.
A nightmare.
Yeah. Anyway.
But you got it to a stage where you can work with it and you figured out the leak,
Yeah.
and that's the most important part.
Well, I'm hoping that's where the water was coming in. So I'm hoping that's where it's leaking.
Holding thumbs.
Yeah, we'll see.
Night has fallen, but Paul is just gearing up to continue working outside and just try and get a temporary seal. around the window. We are going to end this episode here. Paul has finished sealing at least a temporary seal on the window, and we're just checking the weather now, so all we have to do now is wait for rain. I think there is some coming in a couple of days, so that'll be the test.
Hopefully it holds up.
But yes, so much for organising and getting this place in shape. Obviously structural damages take precedence, so yeah.
So have to do a few touch-ups. Now we're back to normal again, I think.
Yeah, that paint job as well. It's gonna be a fixer-upper. Try and make it look new again. But anyway, tomorrow's Christmas. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed that episode. Please subscribe if you're enjoying following along our little story. And yeah, like we said, tomorrow's Christmas and we are going to film a whole episode around it. So that's what the next one will be about, even though you'll be watching it 2 weeks later. I think it'll be a little bit of a lonely one for us, just us two, but having you to bring along for the day and to check in with and talk to, I think will feel quite fun and festive. So as always, we totally appreciate you coming along with us, all the comments each week, we love them. We'll meet you there in the comments after this episode, and we hope that you had a nice Christmas and enjoyed it as much as possible, and wishing you all the best and most delightful things. See you next time.